Afternoon, intuitives. Thank you all for tuning in again to your favorite, eccentric, raw, uncut INFJ, demisexual, male witch, firefighter, EMT guy, I guess. Um, doing better than I was. Like I said, in order for people to understand like what the depths of an NITI loop is or PTSD or things like that, you have to see it to be able to empathize with it. And since I can't, fake it and pretend to be in that state of mind when I'm not, I have to will myself in front of a camera when I'm actually in those kinds of moods to let you see it, not just so you can see me like that, so you can maybe sadly relate if you've been in that state, or if someone close to you is in that state, you can better understand it. Or if it's you yourself, know that you're not alone, that sadly times like that are, a part of life for oh so many of us. But today, I wanted to go for a more positive spin. Now, I've talked in the past about the challenges of being a INFJ male, heterosexual, demisexual. Wow, that's a mouthful. And there are challenges to it, particularly if you don't know what the hell that means. And, particularly if you're like young, like university age in your 20s, that go out to the bars and clubs days, and every other guy is, just trying to get some. And you're like, but I want an emotional connection. Like, I don't want a night of, unhinged, emotionless, wild, drunken sex. I want a nice sweetheart that I can, stay up all night drinking tea and snuggling and having deep conversations and laughing. And then you're told you're such a girl. Well, yes, INFJs, we do have some feminine traits. I've learned to embrace them. And, I am not ashamed of that. And if anybody wants, you can come at me with soy boy and all that. Have you been shot? Have you been through fire school? Or if you really want to get barbaric, you want to get the rulers out and have a measuring contest. But anyway, there are advantages to being a INFJ, heterosexual, demisexual. Some are unique to being INFJ, some are unique to being demisexual, some overlap. But for the other guys like me out there, all four of you, we're going to discuss that because maybe you're struggling with that as your identity. All right. So the advantages of being a male demisexual is, well, first and foremost, you're not ruled by your dick. As Aldous Huxley said, the intellectual is merely somebody who has found something more interesting than sex. We seek to understand things, we seek deeper knowledge, we love things like philosophy, poetry, art, history, theater, things of that nature, and deep conversations as well as dark, sarcastic, dry humor. But we seek genuine connections with people, not just physical attractions. You know, so advantages of being a male demisexual is, well, you're not going to be in a relationship just to be in one, because if you don't feel it, you don't feel it. And getting laid, if there's no emotional connection, is not very high on the priority list at all. All or nothing, as it goes with us INFJs, all or nothing. So, that being said, another thing that can be an advantage to you is when you finally do find the kind of girl you're looking for, which I know it's hard, and the older you get, the harder it is to find one that is single. But in the, rare times where you are in a relationship, you're not, how can I put this? You don't, she doesn't have to worry about you. If your girlfriend knows, who you are, you don't have to worry about, like, her thinking you're going to cheat, because we never do. We're just not capable of it. I can only be into one woman romantically at one time. I am not capable of having romantic feelings for more than one at the same time. It's just not in my nature. And that being said, another advantage of being a male demisexual and the fact that we seek building, true deep emotional bonds is once that's understood who you are, you'll know right away if you're actually building a bond with somebody, because you won't go through a relationship with somebody that you have no connection with, just for sex, because we're just not capable of that. I don't really know how to describe it other than even if you tried to. I've never had a one night stand, so I'm just gonna guess here. Go gadget intuition that it would be like the most awkward robotic thing you've ever seen. I mean, I guess it would be like trying to watch two actors that despise each other, that have no chemistry, that aren't attracted to each other, try to film a love scene. It would kind of be like that, I guess, because there'd be no passion, there'd be no sensuality, none of that would be there. And another point of being, a male demisexual is there's less drama. There's less drama because you're not completely ruled by your sex drive. Now, it's important to note too, it is not like us demisexuals don't like sex. We actually are, very sexual people. We have pretty high sex drives when we're actually in a relationship where that emotional connection exists. So that emotional connection to somebody is key. It is a prerequisite to bring that out in us. We're not, but ironically enough, we're often, here's a little paradoxical moment, because as INFJs, we're also very, empathetic, and we're often very huggy, holdy type people. We deeply care about people, and we are able to express affection, even physical affection, to people we care about without it being sexual, even if we may find that person attractive, but we don't have that emotional connection to. Wow, that sounded more confusing than it needed to be. Okay. So there are advantages to it. In many ways, obviously, and I've spoken before on it, it can be very difficult. But it's important that if you are like me, to realize what that means and to accept that in yourself and find ways to express who you really are. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Another big advantage is if you are lucky enough to find, a woman that you're really into and she's really into you, chances are you got a pretty good shot at making it work, because sad to say, in today's day and age, a lot of men are scumbags, and women know that. But it's just been in, fairly recently that women have rightly said, enough is enough. I'm not going to put up with these chauvinists. I'm not going to put up with these F-boys, these players. So good for us. It's a good time to be like a genuine good guy for once, because in the 2000s we were like not in vogue at all. And it was rough. It was really rough. But well, unless you found the right one, which is rare, and hope it's just not with somebody else, which a lot of the times they are. But that's important to realize in this day and age. It's actually, I love it, just on the matter of principle, and my hatred of double standards and my hatred of everything exploitation and sexual assault, having sadly been in that situation back in 2004 when I was in the modeling industry. But I love that women are standing up for themselves and putting these fucking scumbags in their place and telling them that they're not going to get away with their antics anymore. You know, I love that, and you know, I don't have to change any of my behavior. As a couple scumbag acquaintances said, it's like, no, no, everybody's got to treat women like Brett does now. It's pain in the fucking ass. You know. Oh well. People in general, regardless of gender or race or anything, deserve to be treated as human beings. You don't get to use somebody just because you think you're a big shot because you inherited daddy's money or what have you. So, in this day and age, that advantage does come through. Finally, like I said, I'm glad women are doing that. It's frankly long overdue. Some of the things I saw in the 2000s in my youth really pissed me off, and I'm one guy, I can't fight everybody. But those are some advantages as well. Additionally, guys, INFJ demisexuals, embrace your empathy. We're very empathetic people who can feel other people's emotions and care about their hardships, care when somebody is wronged. Often that'll kick in our INFJ rage, and we'll want to seek righteous retribution at times, which is completely justified, especially if somebody is getting away with a heinous crime because of who they are or who they know or how wealthy they are or because they're, in the good old boys club, for instance. So, in that sense, too, embrace your empathy as well. If you're an INFJ male, demisexual, empath like me, go with it. Don't try to be something you're not. You can't sustain it. It's a lie, and we hate lies, and we love authenticity and genuine connections. So, on the plus side, there does seem to be a good percentage of women that are seeking men like that now. Now, I got to do mention bad side. Bad side is they don't think we exist. Like INFJ male demisexuals, we're almost like mythical, or I've been called a unicorn more than a couple times. No, there are others like me. We just are shy and overthink things and are afraid to make the first move. You know, that is the paradox, ladies, with the INFJ male demisexual. You know, we can be all, well, possibly all the good things that women say they want, but that making the first move step, oh, we're bad at that. We are bad at that. So, wanted to make a video that was a little more lighthearted, explain to specifically my male viewers that you should just embrace your nature if you are an INFJ male demisexual, and how that can be a good thing, and how, people most likely will like your authentic self if you get out of your fucking box and find a way to express the person you really are. And I know, possibly make a first move. I know, terrifying. Rather run into a burning building. But that's just the nature of who we are. So I hope this helped. And remember, guys, if you're thinking of making that first move, to trust your intuition and not overthink, and never sell out your integrity, especially to try to fit in with some scumbags.